Hi, everybody. Welcome to issue 1 of Worlds in Peril. We're giving this a try, and none of us have played it before. Worlds in Peril is the other Powered by the Apocalypse superheroes game, um, published by Samco Publishing. We've built our characters, we've set up our safety tools. This is a gauntlet game, so we're playing under inclusivity policy. We spent time to understand our lines and veils, and we did sort of a writer's room session at session 0, where we've built up all of our characters. So for everyone's benefit here, I'm going to ask each person to introduce themselves, their characters. If you haven't, I would ask if you could add your preferred pronouns to your characters. We try to get those correct. What they're about. Don't spend too long on it, but let's introduce them. And I'm going to start with Arez, who's playing Archangel.
So I'm just Erez. I'll be playing Archangel. Davis DeWitt is an African American in the city. He likes to follow all of the newest civil rights stuff. And some time ago, he found a little object of some sort that gave him the powers to turn into an angel. And eventually those powers started influencing his personality into being more of a celestial being than himself. And he still isn't very aware of it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And then we have David, who's playing the Grey Ghost.
Hi, yeah, my name's David, use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Jacob Grauman, or the Grey Ghost. Jacob is from a German Jewish family. They immigrated to America in the mid-30s. When World War II broke out, he enlisted in the army, joined sort of a military intelligence group, and after the war, had a brief career working in the forerunners to the CIA and some of the secret intelligence community, until a combination of growing disillusioned with the post-war world and concerned that his sexuality might be outed to his superiors. He quit. He works now as a high school history teacher, and moonlights as the Grey Ghost, a kind of street detective superhero. And that is Jacob Grauman, the Grey Ghost.
Brilliant. Thank you. Leandro, do you want to introduce us to Telos?
Yeah, so hi, name's Leandro, UCM pronouns. For this series of World in Peril, I am playing, by day, you might know her as Briar Bedingfield, just innocuous college student, but by the rest of the day, and sometimes by night as well, you know her as Telos, the superhero from the stars who's come from far away to help help humanity and help beat back the darkness and whatnot. She's not here because she was sent by her weird artificial intelligence satellite homeworld to basically scope out Earth and see what's up there. Basically, they're like, okay, maybe should we make relations with these humans? And Telos volunteered because she's a big fan of specifically the superhero part. It's just ridiculous. There were these costumes and they beat up other people in costumes, and it's great. It's great fun. That's great fun. That's a weird way to describe that. But yeah, so Briar Bedingfield is not even her real name. It's actually, well, I guess that translates to something somewhere.
Beep bop boop. Yes, awesome. So You're a student at the university as well. Everyone seems to be almost connected to the university, with the exception of, well, two of the characters. But, speaking of the university, let's find out about the Idealist. Chibi, tell us about the Idealist. Can you hear me, Andrea?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of net breakup just now. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of lag. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Or am I coming through like an alien?
No, you're coming through great. Maybe it's us. I think I've got my video
Oh.
in HD, so I'm going to switch that off.
It's my connection. Okay, so yes, I'm Andrea, he, him, and in this series of Worlds in Peril, I will be playing Matthew O'Reilly, also known as the Idealist. He is a gadgeteer and super intelligent scientist who wants to make the world a better place, as sort of driven by the example set by his now deceased father. He believes in not just doing his best, but being his best and finding the best in others.
Excellent. And we then have the Traveller, played by Sabine.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm going to play Kylon Cheres. We use they, them pronouns, and who's the Traveller. Kylon comes from the future, where humanity has been relegated to a second or third kind of role in global history and development. They're no longer the dominant species. That's because some intelligent insect states have become the dominant species. That happened or started to happen somewhere around the point where the Arctic glaciers melted. So Kylon has come back in time to stop that, because they'd really like for humanity not to live in kind of protected habitats and stuff like that. That's not really fun at all. And also the insect states are prone to use experimentation on whatever they think is nice, and they argue about should they do this with humans or not. But right now they're at the point where they're still on the let's do that. Yeah, and that's why they came back. Part of that is the science stuff that Matthew O'Reilly does, who Kylon for some reason thinks should be protected, because he remembers from his history lessons that Matthew died, and that is not something that should happen, so he should be protected. Yeah. Kylon has psionic powers. He can think at people and then stuff happens.
Cool.
I'm really sorry I missed half of that, but
Okay, so do you get the time traveler part?
I got the start and the very last couple of words. Everything
Okay.
else is just breaking up. This
Okay.
is really awful. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No
you-
worries.
Sometimes, GB, if you disconnect and reconnect, sometimes it does make a difference in Zoom in. If you want to drop out and return for a moment. Okay. Any other questions? Just give Andrea just a moment or two to come back in. So we do need to answer one or two team questions. Let's see if that's any better for him. Hello.
Hey,
If that's any better for you.
it is actually a bit better. I'm not going to turn my camera on just for now, just in case it contributes. I might try flicking it on later.
Sure. Cool. So let's we'll do the name last, right? But how long has our team been together? Again, remember we're in sort of a late 1950s this golden age, just about to tip over into the silver age sort of comics. But how long has the team been together? Anyone want to?
Few years.
A few years. Cool. And what brought you together as a team?
I wonder if there was like some like big threat to the city that sort of we all got involved in stopping somehow, whether we knew it on, whether or not we planned to. And then that's maybe kind of how we started cooperating. And I mean, it's not the most
That's fine. But
inventive bit.
what do you think then was the someone else other than David? Let's add a threat point to this. What did you fight or defeat? Was it one of your existing nemesis or something else that
Did anything come with Kylon
Yeah.
when Kylon
maybe.
arrived?
Yeah,
that-
maybe
that feels neat, yeah.
some kind of
Time
insect
traveling
swarm.
insect robot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a sentient insect swarm nanites. So they weren't really the insects, but they were just nanites. But they were bad enough.
It was like it's like the plot of the Terminator. If it was a caterpillar, I need your clothes and your bike, and then you saw like this caterpillar dressed like the Terminator on a bike. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, an insect attack, something maybe nano-y.
Yeah, I'm sort of thinking maybe it was
Mothra.
an attack, but it was possibly quite widespread. So like maybe the Idealists and the Traveler were dealing with part of it. The other heroes were dealing with parts of it, and it sort of all kind of climaxed and culminated. Eventually, with like the five of us kind of stood triumphant amongst a group of onlookers, and that sort of like kind of little Avengers moment.
With the Idealist having built a ginormous fly swatter to push Mothra back through the vials. That would be in keeping with the genre and the idiom. And with that in mind, if that was what brought you together, you've been together since. Do you have a headquarters or a common meeting ground that you come together in?
We are all connected through the university in one way or another. Maybe somewhere there, the library.
Is it the real library or the secret library?
I don't think we have a headquarter of our own. Because is anyone rich?
You know, Telos is an alien. The Idealist has got like their own sort of lab. So these are all possibilities.
The thing is, like, the Telos lives in the equivalent of a server. I don't think she can invite anyone there.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You've got a mainframe and tapes. So yeah, but you, don't worry too much about can you afford it. We don't want to get into those sort of things. This is 1950s comic book. You can have a headquarters.
Where is Liberty City sort of geographically?
About the same sort of place as around sort of where Washington DC is fundamentally. Yeah, so that sort of
Okay.
I'm definitely up for some sort of like, hidden sort of Knights Templar style Assassin's Creed secret room under the library at the university. Then that definitely feels appropriate.
Yeah, totally.
It kind of does. Yeah. It's a religious thingy.
Okay. I'm guessing that probably predates the modern university, and we've stumbled across it and kept it hidden.
Probably something pulled us there, it feels.
Yeah,
Archangel, maybe one of your investigations.
Yeah, all right. That's where I came through.
If you have played in any of my superhero games before, I just put a link to a Google drawing that will show you all of the cities
So
in
nice
my
playing on
alternate America.
Oh, you need to arrange access. It's
Oh, did I not?
now.
Sure.
You're going to get a lot of requests.
It's so nice playing on my computer and being able to actually click links now.
Let me switch it to anyone with a link. Do that. Because I realised I've got about 5 cities, and there's space, but space isn't on the American map. It's up there in space. Cool. So that's how we come together, and we have we have a secret hall accessible through a hidden bookshelf in the university library. That's correct, yeah. Does it have a name, like the Hall of Knowledge or something?
What's a place you pray in, like that thing you do things on? Altar?
Yeah.
Like maybe the altar? Maybe it was an altar a long, long time ago.
The altar.
The sanctum.
Yeah.
Sanctum. Silent sanctum.
Or
Silent
It's
sanctum.
in the library.
like, what about tabernacle?
What's a tabernacle?
It's it varies. It can be sort of like just a residence or a fixed locked box where special objects are kept.
Mishkan. Yeah, I see that. It comes
Yeah,
from Bible
Mishkan.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah, Mishkan.
It's a place where gods sleep or dwell.
And the team of access special resources fund or anything else will help them complete their mission. Not particularly at the moment. I think a secret headquarters makes sense. Former members, has anyone left or been kicked off the team since your time together?
You guys want to kick Warmonger?
The answer can be no. We don't have to have an ex-member of the team. Has someone's got a specifically strong answer? Let's say no and no. So we know where the team is based. Has anyone got an idea for a team name? It's not even harder than naming your superhero.
The Avenger is just too correct.
We'll keep away from copyright infringement of.
We're protecting the future, so the Futurists, or something like that.
The Defenders? That's also copyrighted,
That's
isn't
also copyrighted.
What about the Future Five?
Sounds like a young adult novel, but I'm up for it.
It sounds like a band.
We could do this in our spare time, but I don't know if we have the same interest in music. I imagine that we do not, but who knows? Well,
let's play on and see if a team name comes up, because this
Yeah.
is like the most complicated thing in any superhero game, is the team trying to have their own moniker. Let's figure you saving the world, and then maybe you'll name yourself. If not, I remind the sinister kids what happens to you if you don't name your own team. So let us set ourselves on a sunny spring morning, 1958, in Liberty City. We are at Liberty City Technical University. And Telos, why are you running late for class? Or why is Briar running late for class?
I totally didn't lose track of time because I was looking up. I totally did not sneak into the library, and I totally did not spend the last couple hours looking up the microfiche on old college newspapers. I did not specifically spend those hours tracking down like if any superheroes have come from this university, because that would be totally cool if there was, but there wasn't apparently. Instead, I did not spend those hours, waste those hours, and I did not just like finish once I've noticed that I will be if I don't book it, I will be like terribly late. I'm already late, honestly, but I kind of want to stay here. I don't want to get into trouble.
Are you with Caroline, who is also not looking for things as well, or are you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, she's a model student. She totally was not with me holding up the flashlights because I can produce light, but I'm not going to tell that to her. She totally was not being a not model student with me. She's totally not running next to me as we try to get the class together. No, that's totally not what's happening.
And she's running past with you, saying, "No, we're so close. Look, this has got to be true." It said, "This, I am convinced that the thorn and the serpents are real. There's a conspiracy at the heart of our government. This is deep state."
I can't believe the conspiracy runs all the way here to Liberty U. Of all places, you think they're really getting around, aren't they? They have so many fingers, so many pies. They're insatiable. I thought people were only meant to have 10 fingers.
Many-headed is the serpent. That's what they say. Said, look, this has got to be true. I mean, who else? I mean, if you just think what the military-industrial complex is putting into universities like this, we're all just spies. Upon which point you run into, with a thump, Professor Matthew O'Reilly, almost knocking him off his feet, because you have a job at the university, don't you, Matthew?
You're muted.
Yes, I was. Whoa there.
Do you know each other's secret identities?
Absolutely not. At least I'm not telling anyone. That's part of the gig. I'm meant to be undercover.
So you definitely don't know that Briar is Telos. Does Briar know that Matthew is the Idealist?
You're allowed to have suspicions. I don't think the Idealist outed himself, but like you can have done as much digging as you want and have as many unproven thoughts as you think.
I think at this moment I respect my fellow colleagues and their right to disclose their identity if they want to. So I mean, I've got a bond with everyone, so at least I respect them. So I wouldn't be digging. So right now I'm just bumping into Professor Matthew O'Reilly, and I'm just, oh, Professor.
Well, there.
I'm sorry about that. We were just me and Caroline. We were just on our way. Sorry for knocking against
Shouldn't you be in class right now?
Well, yes, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the class right, Caroline. We just can we also say that we maybe spilled some coffee on you just to make this even more embarrassing?
Well,
right.
We can do that.
Listen.
Will coffee have landed on you, or you let it landed on you, Idealist, or did you try to stop it?
I think wasn't expecting it, so yeah, sploosh all up the shirt. White shirt has now gone this sort of cream brown color.
See sort of this cut in the frame of you hitting each other, and then the images of you and your secret or super identities on each side. And yes, Caroline sort of eeks and goes, "Oh no, so sorry."
I'm so sorry, Professor. Caroline. Briar's me. Sorry, Caroline. You maybe should get to class. You can tell Professor Stevenson that I'm helping out Professor O'Reilly. I'll take whatever punishment she'll give us. Just I'll take care of this, Caroline. You better go.
Matthew will pull a thing out, scribble down, pass it to Caroline. That should cover you. You get to class right now. It's like a little hall pass, excusing her for being late.
Right. So as you do that, we cut back to the library as we see the microfiches left out, and there's a tut 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 from the librarian who's putting them all away, and she looks at them and holds one up, looking through her sort of kitten eye glasses, and then looks closely and takes out a futuristic looking cylinder which she puts to her face, which bleeps and goes. Said, someone on the university is looking for you. Yes, perhaps we should recruit them. I will begin the recruitment trials. Said, the serpent's eye never closes, and she puts down the futuristic comms device. Elsewhere, away from the university, in a school, in one of the projects, less grandiose than the modern science buildings of Liberty City Technical University, we find Jacob Groman, school teacher. And how do we see you the first time, Jacob?
Yeah, I think Jacob's at the front of the class. It's got some notes up on the board, and he's giving a history lesson. It's kind of a bit of that like Indiana Jones thing where he's there sort of in his nice, like his sort of brown tweedy suit, little bow tie, his sort of horn rimmed glasses on. His sort of he's clearly quite a decent quite good at presenting. He's more or less got the attention of the students, I think.
What are you teaching?
It's history, so I think it's going to be why not? We'll go with kind of the history of the pilgrims and all that. I think the lesson he's delivering is probably not quite to curriculum standard, but
and we established that you have a wife and not quite an adopted son, haven't we? Is that right, Sammy?
Yeah. His mother's still alive, but I kind of check in on him from time to time after his dad died during the war. So
is Sammy in school, or is he beyond school age? And if he's in school, and I establish him in this class.
Yeah, sure. I will say he's in this. He's probably about he's maybe like 17, 18. Is because if we're at 58,
seniors, yeah.
He was quite young when his dad died.
So when you ask a question, his hand goes up, and you sort of hear the noise, and as you sort of turn around, you can see he's got a spitball on the back of his neck, which he's pulling away, and the kids at the back are trying to stifle a laugh.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, no messing around, please. But yes, Sammy, you have the answer.
He answers your question to the date. And again, the kids at the back in the Letterman jackets, Poindexter.
Well done, Sammy. And if the rest of you could try and pay attention, that would be great. I know young whippersnappers like you all probably don't think it, but the world is built on history, and it's important that you learn what it's what the world's really like out there.
So the class sort of ends and they're sort of making their way out. He's sort of slowly popping the things into his bag, taking his time, and sort of comes over and looks at you and says, "Gee whiz, Mr. Grauman, those kids are awful mean. Have you got any advice for how I can deal with them?"
The most important thing, Sammy, is that you don't let people like that get to you. Now, that's not to say you don't do anything about it, but stuff like this, it's most of the time it's just kids messing about. They'll grow out of it in time, but what you need to keep your eye out for is the people who are really bad out there, the ones who don't just mess about, but the ones who hate, the ones who want to hurt people for real. But for now, keep your head up, kid. You've got a good heart, and if you're anything like if you're anything like your mum and that, you'll do well. I can promise you that.
My daddy always used to say that you should never let anyone take advantage of you and stand up to them.
That's right. It's you shouldn't let people push you around, but that also doesn't mean you've got to go looking for trouble. Just make sure that you.
Okay, Mr. Groman, whatever you say. And he's left an apple on your desk, but makes his way out of the classroom. What about Davis DeWitt, the Archangel? When we first see Davis, where has their ever-moving life taken them to?
Since he's a bartender and that's a night job, in the days he's probably mostly does like second jobs. Maybe he's like carrying boxes somewhere.
Okay.
Some sort of menial job. Regular day, regular times.
So yeah, it's gotcha. So you're sort of loading crates onto a truck at a sort of a docking warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a guy who's sort of looking at you and goes, if I wanted someone to move that slow, I'd hire the one-legged guy.
I start moving faster. Or try to.
So, yeah, he's sort of like, I want you to get that thing loaded within the next 10 minutes. See?
Yes, sir. It's not worth it.
Says geez, I think we'll come back to you in a moment because you'll be first on the scene from where you are when you hear the explosion in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
But let's cut back to the Traveler. And again, where do we see the Traveler for the first time, or Cylon?
Kylon, not Cylon. I'm not a Cylon.
Kylon.
I think Kylon is. See, what are they doing? I think they're looking at newspapers, They are doing this in, I think, sort of an office for maybe even a private detective agency or something, where he's just cutting out interesting stuff, like things that were happening, and pasting them together. But they're obviously looking for clues for their own agenda, like looking at scientific journals, and keeping abreast of developments, and looking at something, some article like, oh, no, and putting that away for later, writing down an address that they maybe want to check out.
And do you have though you have a secret identity, do you have a normal life, or are you mostly continually preoccupied with the things that have brought you here?
I think that is my normal day sort of job that I'm there for. Or maybe it's just really a newspaper that I am clipping and microfishing stuff for, that is interesting or that needs to be archived. I think working at a newspaper archive pretty much fits the bill.
Awesome. That makes sense. I think we established, go back to my notes, I'm pretty sure we established a newspaper.
The Liberty Bell or something like that.
I was feeling it was something like that. I'll find
Liberty Clarion.
Let's call it that for sure. That's let's call it the Liberty Clarion. So yes, you work in the copy room or the microfiche.
Yeah. And I usually do not forget not just to float the microfiche over to myself when people are around.
And what's the name of the ace reporter who is desperate to secure a interview with the mysterious traveler and doesn't know that they're right under your feet every day?
I think her name is Scout Van Dyne. She's she used to be the girl reporter, and now she wants to be the woman reporter.
And I think it's obviously the case that Caroline has a signed picture of Scout Van Dyne that she has in her folder, who wants to be just like Scout when she grows up. Excellent. But Archangel, you are the first to hear the klaxons go off that warn that there is a threat in Liberty City. And you've seen the glare of rockets coming in and a series of large robots hit the downtown historic district. They clatter across the cobbled streets, proclaiming in unison, humanity will be tested, prepare to prove yourself. And I have put a picture for the robots in. There are 4 of them clattering away with eyes and heat lasers, which are vaporizing and disintegrating cars willy-nilly, to use one of Leando's phrases there, elsewhere on the street. So there is a moment of zap as we see a car disappear. And this siren can be heard from wherever you are in the city. The city is in peril. What do you do, Archangel? You've got the boxes. If you don't complete this job, you're going to get fired. You're muted.
I yell like, we have to find somewhere safe. There is an attack.
He goes, just do your job. You ain't no superhero.
We need to get out of the street.
he sort of looks at he sees one of the giant robots landing in the town, going like, "Crazy." He says, "Yeah." Says, "Best thing we can do is load this lorry and get out of here."
Sir, I would like to stay alive, and I run into the building.
He says, "What? No! Don't you come back here tomorrow! You're fired!"
Was that full-time job anyway?
So it feels to me like you probably will have hit your playbook move, evade, outwit, and outmaneuver to see if you left anything behind or you escaped without being seen.
Oh, sure.
If it doesn't name a label, you can add any that you can justify use of.
Am I considered hunted and cornered?
Well, he doesn't really want you let you out of his sight, right? So you are trying to slip their gaze and
I see.
take on your superhero identity.
Yeah, I'll do maneuver. I'm trying to skip this place, basically.
You can use your own real dice, or there is a roll for your party in the safety and support tool.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll though.
Lively first turkey.
That's 10 plus 1. So that's 11.
Excellent. So,
Maneuver, yeah.
yeah. On 10 plus, you slip out of the clutches. What does it look like as you slip clutches and switch forms?
So I basically run into the building and start going up the stairs. He kind of starts going after me to yell, but he doesn't climb the stairs because he's too lazy. I climb all the way to the highest floor, look around. There's no one there at this hour of the day. Put my hands on the little reliquary, the little thing. How did I call it?
Relinquary, is it? You
Reliquary,
got yeah.
Something like that. I hold it, and immediately all the wings start forming out light, and I immediately fly into the sky.
And to establish what we said about Archangel, when Davis becomes Archangel, he's still in control, but there's another force somewhere behind him, right? That's what I think we've...
Yeah, it kind of invades his personal life too, but he has this urge to help, to support, to fight evil that he doesn't normally. He didn't have it normally. Like he would stay at home when evil would appear. Now suddenly he goes out.
Grey Ghosts, you can hear the bell ringing, and you have fourth graders coming in for the history lesson, but the city is in peril. What does Jacob do?
So I think Jacob hears the sort of siren go off and says, well, kids, it looks like the alert's gone off. Everybody under your desks, take shelter. I'll go and check that everything's going okay. And he's once the kids have started getting under the desks and the like, he will head out of the room, and then we kind of get the thing from like leaping out of a window, retrieving his costume from like the hollow of an old tree outside the school, his quick change sequence, and I think when he comes out, he's wearing it's probably like a fairly it's like got the big like hood down over his face with like metallic lenses over the eyes, a long sort of cape that's sort of obviously kind of weighted at the bottom and sort of attached partially to the sleeves. The outside of the cloak and sort of is quite dark. It's that very dark, not quite black, but a greyish color. But then the inside of the actual sort of suit underneath is slightly metallic, shiny looking. The cloak sort of falls down over it, and he's going to kind of whip out a grappling hook from underneath the cloak, swing it up to a building, and start to make his way across town.
Excellent. And the same question, Telos, where you're just about to step into class. You're only 10 minutes late. You've got a chit from the professor, and you hear the alarm going off. Caroline looks to you and said, "Oh no!" It said, "We need to get to the bunker, quick."
Yeah, we need to get to the bunker. Oh no, I left the microfiche we need. I left it at Professor O'Reilly's office. I need to get back to it. You know it's really important. I need to get back to it. I'll see you at the bunker soon, okay?
She looks at you and says, "I can't. Whatever." And she is
I know she
away.
wants to go too.
So
I know where she's going.
She doesn't know your secret identity, though, right?
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
That's what I was just checking. Yeah. So, how does it look when Briar becomes Telos?
Yeah. I think Briar is gonna run. And the thing is that like her human form, it's a trick of the light. I have a picture of her real form, but I can only fit 2 pictures in that sheet. So, but as she's kind of running, and we're seeing like this is like a bit more advanced than what 1950s comics were doing. But as she's running from like the college to town, like her form is like changing. It's like the light is like bending so that she's turning from Briar Bedingfield, ordinary college student, to this form that's kind of like it's kind of like a slimmer version of what 1950s astronaut outfits would be. It's like it's nowhere near as bulky as what they had at the time. But they've got like there's like a helmet, and there's like a shield, and it does look more like armor than a big bulky suit, but there's still like a backpack, whatnot. Got these like silver kind of gloves on. She's got this like face protector, and also her skin is now green because might as well. She's an alien. It's kind of like a and would she have a cape? No, she's the form for astronaut look. She wouldn't have a cape. Still of the style. And I think the transformation fully completes once she like gets downtown. I did not put in that she can fly, so sadly she cannot fly. Maybe that's something she can pick up later.
Definitely is. Yeah. Good. And same question is you're just washing off that spilt coffee off your shirt, Matthew O'Reilly, and you hear the alarms of the city ring.
I think at that moment he'll stop with like his hands on his shirt. He'll look to his quite large briefcase, which is on the floor beside him, and then look to the door. Then there's a cut, and this like gauntleted hand reaches out. Like the door opens a crack, gauntleted hand reaches out, hits a fire alarm, then slides back into the bathroom and closes the door. And then a cut, and he's in his full costume and regalia, the blue and yellow figure hugging like super rubber or whatever it is, his big metal gauntlets, his World War I tin hat, and his sort of like little metal face mask. And it's all, how far away is the university from what's going on?
Oh, not too far.
Yeah, I think he's just running like a blinder.
Excellent. And across town not that far across town, in the same area, you can see it looking out the window. Well, you'll possibly down the basements, but you can you can hear the sirens go, and Scout Van Dyne grabs a camera from the fish room and she screeches, "Gee, Willikers!" Said, I knew today was going to be a big story day. Said, "Find those fishes for me while I'm away." Kylon.
Sure. I'll find the fishes. You run ahead, and then I will ignore the fishes because who cares? Really, these are not. I do not think they are very relevant to the future. Or are they? No, they are not. And I will then run after her with. Not so that she'll notice, but I will grab my bag and grab my hat from my bag and my coat. It's kind of a leather greatcoat thing that I'm wearing. I was told it was timeless. It stands out a little, but most of my clothing stands out a little. Most of me stands out a little. So, well, and then I'll run towards whatever is going on, and I'll try to perceive the thoughts of the people, so I can get closer faster. I just open my mind a little.
But the team then comes together, standing, looking bold and heroic in front of City Hall with the American flag fluttering behind you. And the four sort of two-story robots proclaim and says, "Heroes, your time has come. Surrender, and we will disintegrate you painlessly." And Telos, what tells you that these are constructs of Kosmos?
Ooh. I think Telos is going to respond to that by just pointing at them and just saying, "Not if we disintegrate you first." But I think what... let me look at this photo again. I love these goofy robots. I think what shows them as constructs of Kosmos is that they've got his voice. It's this grating, very, it's very mechanical, very processed, but I recognize his voice. It's reedy, kind of a bit nasal, and the thing with like voices from where we come from is like we kind of work on those because we don't really talk to each other.
Well, let's set the scene. Four giant sci-fi robots, 2 stories all tall each, with glittering, whirring eyes and stompy feet, are looking at all of you. One of them takes his clawed hand and said, "We are here to test your metal." And its foot raises above a school bus. Another seizes forward to try and tear the firmaments and the flags from the city hall, whilst another still is powering up its laser hands to try and disintegrate the building. The fourth is there to distract the most powerful looking among you. But let's see if anyone wants to try and stop the school bus from being crushed to begin with.
I assume that we all do.
Yeah, but it's like which hero leaps into action to begin
But
with?
I can fly, so I can punch to concrete. I instantly would fly and punch his leg, and
I'm just thinking
break
that
it.
maybe this is a moment in this instance for the Grey Ghost, who may be extremely clever at taking down 2-story robots, but maybe have a different agenda. But I'm going to ask the Grey Ghost what they are going to do first, as the man of mystery rather than the superpowered hero among you.
Yeah, so I think maybe the Grey Ghost is stood on a rooftop just overlooking the scene. And I think that he's going to he's going to leap down onto the one that's going for the school bus. And I think where they've got the big, like this big whirly thing on top of their head, I think he's going to kind of leap down and grab onto it and try and unscrew that from the top of its head.
So you are trying to stop them squishing the bus. So you will be using your serve and protect move, which is with the protect stat. And that is anything which is a more appropriate playbook move.
I do not have my own protect move unlocked yet, and I don't know if it's quite appropriate for this this situation anyway. But yeah, I will gladly go with serve and protect. So yeah, when you stand in defense of someone or something, when an imminent threat or danger befalls them, roll plus protect. Do we have a link for the dice roller?
In the safety and support tools.
Perfect.
Let me just grab a link for you here.
Okay.
Throw that into the chat.
Brilliant. Cheers. Yeah, so I can't see in there.
Someone's got it. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you. So that is an 8 on the dice, and I think I have a 2.
Protective 2.
I do indeed. So that's a 10.
So a 10 plus, you'll hold 3 in serve and protect. You should see that in the core moves.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to immediately spend 1 hold. 1 hold, I guess, to reduce the effectiveness of an attack, to kind of try and distract them from. Actually, no, I'll redirect it to myself. That makes more sense. I think I actually distract it from the things and the stuff enough to give them access to it, and I think I want to open up the attacker to an ally, giving them a bonus. And if that's okay, I would like to make that the Idealist, as I think I kind of spin round on this like whirly communications thing maybe on top of its head, and it kind of I leap off, land on the ground, it spins off, and I think it opens up some important circuitry inside the top of the robot's head that the Idealist might be able to tinker with.
Okay. And you've got a third point of 3.
So yeah, I guess actually then I will spend that third hold. So yeah, I will spend 1 hold to redirect the attack to myself, and 1 hold to then downgrade that, whatever harm I do get from that.
Grand. Okay. So the way that harm works in this game is I inflict conditions on you as part of moves. These can be minor, moderate, or critical in what they do. Critical are quite serious, and they will have an ongoing effect, and you can take up to 4 critical conditions before your character dies. But this is superheroes. You don't die for long because you're not Uncle Ben. So you will come back, etc., etc. But this will, because you've downgraded it by 1, this will only be a minor condition. So a minor condition is something that effectively interrupts you till you deal with it. I think the minor condition here is as you sort of pull off or try to pull off the top of its head, you have exposed the circuitry, but it is spinning fast, and you are effectively stuck on the spinning whirligig. And if you are to let go, you're going to go spiraling off into the distance. Okay, so that is there until you are rescued or deal with it, or choose to defy danger at a later point. But
That
effectively,
is very fair.
I have pinned you, but you are spinning at speed with its whirligig head now traversing around. But you did open up on this robot an attack opportunity for the Idealist and the man of science.
Yep.
What does the Idealist do?
Okay. As the panel shows, the grey ghost hanging on to the whirligig bit, probably thinking very loudly, "Now's your chance." The Idealist is just going to leap off a nearby. It's probably like a little rail bridge, very close, just like a platform that can give him some height,
Mm-hmm.
and try and get on top of this robot so he can interfere with the circuitry inside and power it down.
Now, again, to look back towards things like the drives in your playbook, some of the drives are almost soliloquy driven. So, if you wanted to maybe think about, not on my watch, we can reveal something similar that happened before.
Question: did you say that we didn't have all of our drives?
Yeah, I said just unlock one of them, whichever one you think was the most appropriate right now, and the others you're trying to trigger.
Okay. Let's keep not on my watch locked for now. Structure. Yay. Okay. I think I'm just going to skip on the drive just now
Sure.
and just focus on the moment.
Sure. So
feels
you
a
are
little-
trying to take down the robot then?
I guess so. Yep, the Idealist will leap on top, hold on tight, watching the grey ghost spinning around him. At lightning fast speed, he'll raise one of his gauntlets in the air for science, and it'll start to electrify. And then he'll plunge it in to the open hole and start frying circuitry with reckless abandon.
Now, again, is this one of your defined power moves?
Is this defined power? I've got gadgets as a simple.
Yep.
So it's like a Tesla gauntlet.
Augmented physical abilities, which would be, I think, is what. Yeah. So
Or
we
difficult augmented
yeah.
physical abilities if I need to do some actual ripping.
Let's roll some takedown then.
Sure. Move says I should roll.
How you do
You'll
it
tell
and
me.
how you roll. So you can choose, and you can use any label that you can justify using if it doesn't specifically specify one.
Well, I'll leave it up to you as editor in chief.
Well, you just come in and try to whack it, right? So it pretty much feels to me like this is a smash move.
Yep.
So that's a flat
Sure.
roll.
Okay. That's a 9 on the dice. And +1 for the opportunity. That's a 10. So I get to choose free.
Cool. Now, if you really want to do things hardcore in this game, remember that you can spend a bond, but you spend the bond before you roll, and it gives you an automatic success if any reason for you to do it. Bang. But you choose 3 from the.
I mean, I could effectively just, if I give it a critical condition, what does that mean?
So a critical condition is quite significant and severe. They have a certain number of conditions as a nemesis that you can take down. They're not supposed to be entirely undefeatable. So a critical condition will be close enough here to take it off. So effectively, each nemesis type has a number of minor, moderate, and critical conditions, and that's how you defeat them. A critical condition is something you've done something really substantial to it in terms of damage.
Yep. I think, yeah. There's going to be like a sparks, flashes, and an Idealist will literally probably pull out this large, whirring super processor with like just cables flailing from it. And I'll inflict a critical condition on it, hoping that this will stop its nefarious activities.
Yeah, it sort of howls and says, "Oh no, I cannot move my legs. Why would you stop me from crushing the school bus, you meanie? And let's now figure out what, as that has happened, what is Archangel doing?
There are 3 more, right?
Yeah.
Then I don't see any reason why not fly up and punch through one of them.
Yeah,
Right in
one
the
of them
middle.
was directly engaging you as a team, and we haven't got to who that was yet. One of them is trying to power up its large laser hands, and another is trying to tear down the Statue of Liberty and the American flag from the building.
The laser hand sounds like the most dangerous right now, so I would just fly up and fly straight at his hand and just punch right at it. Physical brawl.
Cool. So you are trying to take it down.
Yeah, seems like it.
It sounds to me like you are smashing it.
Yeah. 8 plus 2, I believe. So that's a 10.
Yeah. Crunch. So it's the same maneuver that the Idealist just mold, which will be 3 points you can spend.
He's in the middle of the city.
So you can impose a condition, immediate, moderate, or critical, one on to keep it sort of escalating it, take away an advantage, force a change of location, reduce the size. There's not a mob here, they're not a mob, so to speak, or you can take no harm in the doing. So how do you want to?
Yeah, I think that critical basically takes them out. I would just punch right through it as I fly through it, like make a hole right in the middle, through the hand all the way.
Cool.
So all 3, yeah.
Because I forgot to go and do some harm on the Idealist, I will do here, but it's the same for you. You sort of fly straight through it. Its powerful disintegrator beams impact into you. And I'm going to do a critical condition back on you, but you smash straight through it. So please mark that you have got a critical condition, and critical conditions normally have a descriptor. Let me just find that 2 seconds.
Sounds like I've been zapped.
Yeah, you have been, as you flew in to sort of you sort of step in front of its blast and
Yeah,
then
literally
strike at it.
The idea was to hit me instead of everyone else, so works fine.
So whilst that critical condition is in place, you have -1 to one of your stats. I think that's likely to be maneuver, because it did zap you. And yeah, you are so Gail, it is -1, and you are fried at the moment. You see that you've busted through it, but you are looking worse for wear.
Only my wings are little.
Okay, so make a note until that condition is healed. Which one of your stats you take? I said maneuver, didn't I? So your maneuver is -1 until such time this is resolved. Traveler.
Yeah.
2 of the robots are down or going down, whilst one, I think, is either, the last one I think is going to, the one who is directly attacking is going to attack Telos. This one is trying to tear down the symbols of office from the town hall.
I think what I like to do here is, I've seen this move, use the environment.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that in this time and age, we have electrical lines running around that someone who can throw stuff about might tear down and envelop one of the robots with. Probably not the one attacking Telos, because I don't really want to fry her. So I would go for the other one who wants to tear down the statue. I mean, I don't much care about the statue. It's not that important and for the future, but these things shouldn't be here. So
it is, I think, as you grab the power line and come towards it, these are mechanical robots, so it is effective. So if you roll on your takedown, it'll be enough to take it down with a single blow. But if you fail, you will. In fact, you'll still be able to do significant damage to it. But if you roll a 6 or less, I'll still give you the ability to choose 2, but you will take a condition as well for the fact that you've also been electrocuted.
fair enough. I mean, being electrocuted is not fun, but you know what you do. It's what you do. I will roll this with, I think Smash seems appropriate here. I need dice. Hello, I need dice. Yes, thank you. These, and I'll submit them. And I've rolled a 3. That is not very good. So yeah, I'm taking a condition as well.
But I said I would give you a 7 to 9 for using the environment, right? So you still get to choose. You still get to choose 2. I'm just going to make the condition worse.
Yeah, I'm thinking impose a condition seems a good idea. And I think I will impose a condition twice, so it really hits them.
Cool. But as you sort of hit it with the wire, you realize as it judders and screeches, its arms flail and hit you, grounding you as well with the vicious electricity. So I am going to inflict upon you a moderate condition and a minor condition, because you got affected by your fail as well.
Okay.
So the minor condition is that you are currently sort of frozen in place. As the wire is attached to it, we can see this sort of a comic book of the electricals of the robot, but we can also see your skeleton as the electricity flashes through you. And the moderate condition is that you have been electrocuted, so your hair is standing on end. But until in the next round around, you will be able to try and get yourself out of this, but you are currently immobile.
Okay, cool. No, not cool, but well, okay. At least the thing is some damage as well.
Okay. But Telos, one of the robots looks over at you and grabs its hand and goes, "See, we crush your comrades. Give up this foolish plan. Rejoin with me."
I think Telos points. No, they're still pointing the finger at the robot that's shaking their fist, and she says, "Kosmos, you should have learned by now that there's no point in trying to test our metal, for we're not made of metal, but of justice." And I guess I'm trying to get his attention, and just have the robot and maybe the one that's trying to beat up the Idealist concentrate on me. Basically, I'm trying to I think Telos is going to keep going, I guess, to get his attention. If I join back with you, you'll only be overwhelmed by the might of the justice that I represent, Kosmos. You are foolish to think that you can resist me. If I join with you, it would only be your downfall.
My nihilistic individual will consume your soul.
I can't believe he's a nihilist. Yeah, how do I get his attention? We can keep doing this, David, but this might take us the rest of the session.
You can choose to do a few things at this point, right? Now, if you there are the other kind of sort of core moves that we have dealt with. I think at this point, what we're going to do is I've had framed that they are going to swipe at you, so I'm going to ask you to defy danger, but take down. Closest game I've ever seen something like this work, and other than this, is in Fellowship, where you can use it. You can use the. I just managed to do something very weird on my sheet there accidentally. You can use it to use any of your move labels if you feel it's appropriate. So if there was a way that you wanted to investigate how to take it down through science, hey, Idealist, you could do that. Or if you wanted to influence it and convince it of the cruelty of its ways, that would be an appropriate use of the takedown.
That was what I was thinking.
well.
Yeah, influence, basically, to like get him to like, because he knows me and I know him. I know who he is. He knows who I am.
I'm gonna ask you to take a defy danger move to begin with, and then if you're successful, you can chain into a takedown. If not, I'll move on.
Hell yeah. So yes, I think this we get this panel of her jumping over the swipe as she's having like a 10-sentence monologue at Kosmos. That I think that's the defy danger, is because she's got a pretty good maneuver. So she's jumping over the swipe.
Okay, so let's roll with your maneuver.
It's snake eyes. It's beautiful. Go ahead.
So it sort of as you try to strip away, it grabs you in its clawed hands, and you're trapped between them. Said, ah ha ha ha. I said, if only you could see what I see. Said, I will teach you what humanity is truly like. And it's going to inflict a moderate condition on you as it starts playing through the atrocities of humanity into your mind.
Oh no. The worst thing you can do to an artificial intelligence. God, what kind of there's a lot.
Hey,
it's the 1950s.
So so you've got a moderate, which is a mark that you've had one moderate condition, and it is this is a sort of effectively conditions can be role play through. So when we have got things like psychological, physical damage, you'll probably want to role play out of them later on. But the sort of things I should point out to you, your alien mind move.
I was looking at that. I'll take the condition, but since he's opened up his mind to me, I will attack back. I think he shows me like the horrors of humanity, which there's just quite a lot of them. And I think this has always been your downfall, Kosmos. You only choose to see one side. You choose to see the dark side. Well, the thing with the dark is that it usually comes out from light. And Telos will like fight back with the this is such cheeseball nonsense. But yeah, I the images that Telos will fight back is not, simple stuff like, a well-mannered meal or whatever the hell the fifth doctor said. Or nothing that simple, but like, big moments, like, like the war ending or that sort of thing. Big, like triumphant, we beat back the dark for a bit. Kind of like images as I try to fight back whatever horrors he's showing me.
So you roll with protect.
Why is my protect 0 when I took this origin? Why did I do that? That's a 7. So okay, cool. At least I get 1. I want to keep taking conditions. I kind of want to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I think I'm gonna take another moderate condition to inflict a moderate condition on him. I think just to like visually add more to this, I think the assault, the mental assault kind of like wears on it starts to wear on the image or the costume that Telos has, and like there's a moment where like the light flickers and you can see her real form, which is this gnarly looking droid thing. She doesn't have a face. Like her face is made of like segmented like parts to make like a whole. And so for like a moment, like her astronaut image flickers as she pours this mental assault into Kosmos. Is that okay?
Cool, that's absolutely fine. So that's a moderate to them, and it screeches and bats going, "No, not hope, not freedom, not Elvis." As screeches back, and you see for a moment in Cosmos's mind a location somewhere in the desert.
Oh man. Oh, when I impose a condition, I take the same severity as well.
Yes. So you must have a moderate condition back. I think you have just been inflicted by a psychic scream.
Ooh. Screamed at. Oh, that stings. Why did they build pain receptors into me? No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so I will add these. I'm going to actually add them onto the character sheet for next time. But your first time you take a moderate condition is I'm actually. Yeah, so -1 on certain actions. So anything that you feel that would the horrors of humanity and psychically screamed at, those are the conditions. So if it's something that they would fit appropriate to, I can call them against you. And then I think I've gone to everyone in the first round, right? Come back round to the Grey Ghost, who is spinning at speed like you're on a whirligig in a tornado. Grey Ghost, how are you going to get out of this one?
Yeah. So I think as this is the one I'm on is the one that the Idealist has disabled now.
That's right.
Yep. So and just to refresh myself, the ones that both the Traveller and Telos are standing up to are still active. Is that right? Yep.
But to get yourself out of this, you have to actually, because you're still pinned by a condition, right? You have to defy danger to get yourself out.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I think that what will happen is it's still holding on to this big, like almost like helicopter blade thing that's going around, and I think he starts to actually like spin, I guess, the other way around, like using it like a things in gymnastics, the bar, and starts spinning around it and releases off of it, and it sort of goes tumbling off in a sort of corkscrewing arc, and it's going to attempt to land next to it's going to attempt to land next to Telos, I think. So just checking what
Cool.
the
So you can use any label that's appropriate there, but it sounds to me like you're using maneuver from the description.
yeah, that
given.
sounds fair.
So a
Yeah,
lot of the key
cool.
moves in this game allow you to describe, and then you choose the appropriate label for the description you want to pull off. So that's
Cool.
Yeah.
That is a 7.
Boom. So on a 7 to 9 you can do it, but to do so the editor in chief will offer your worst outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. I'm gonna have a think about what that is a moment, and I'm gonna come back to you.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Idealist, you didn't say no to do it taking harm last time, did you? I think you did a critical
I did not
condition.
know.
So, as you pull out its cerebral core, it is glittering with alien energies, and I should have inflicted a minor condition onto you, which is you are hypnotized by the flashing lights.
Ooh.
And to get out of the hypnotism, you will need to defy danger. Or you can do something like examine it or anything else you would choose, but defy danger at least to lift the condition.
What to do? Yes, I think I will lean into the hypnosis and examine this device in great detail
Dun, dun,
and start to
dun.
garner understanding of this alien technology.
So again, you examine with investigate. Hey, you got it that.
Yep. One sec. There, dice have settled. That's an 8. So yes, he'll just hold it up and his eyes will be wide and ablaze. He'll be like, my God, it's so complex. Centuries beyond what we're capable of. Such alloys, such composition, the use of electronics. And I get to ask one. Who's really in control here? Like, I'm working on the idea that these are robots. I don't think they're totally autonomous.
These are parts of a greater gestalt intelligence and computer network, would you believe?
Awesome.
It's wireless.
Cool. So I will move the lens to Archangel, who is you've zipped through one of them. It's exploded behind you. You are a flame. What are you doing?
First thing, how do you get rid of a critical condition?
Critical conditions can't be got rid of in a fight scene. They've got to be dealt with during sort of down type moves.
I'll try to get rid of the fire first, like really quickly. See that my wings are a little wounded, so my flight is probably hurt. Is Telos still in the hands of that other robot?
Yes, they are, and more worryingly, as Telos and that robot are engaged in some form of psychic battle, the grey ghost has landed in front of it and looks up, and the robot sort of peers down and looks at the grey ghost, and it proclaims, 2 for 1. Self-destruct. 5.
Okay.
4.
I guess that was the.
That's the things got worse for the grey ghost.
Yeah. I can't really fly right now, but I will summon my sword and try to. Hopefully it will work, of course. And I'm going to run at the giant robot and just slice it in half in the hopes to shut off all of its mechanics.
So it
Force.
sounds to me like you are trying to take down, but if you want to spend a bond with Telos or the Grey Goats, you can just have an automatic 10+ success.
I have only one bond with them. So
Well,
it will be...
there are great moves which you will do in the downtime sort of phase of the game, so to speak. The action phase is like fit in and those sort of moves which will help you to generate bonds with other characters.
Okay, so I will burn the one with Telos. And first, like you see, I don't really fly anymore. Like I kind of like run really fast using my wings, wings, and try to slice the hand and then slice its head in order to try and cut all the electricity out.
The way that a bond moves, it says you spend it and it works. I think bonds are hard enough to come by in this game that they should be pretty potent. So we will spend them like moments of truth, right? So do you want to describe what that looks like as the robot falls beneath your swipe of your blade?
I would basically cut the hand down, so Telos would be like the hand would fall down and Telos would be free, and then I will cut, like I would jump using my wings and cut the head, in the hope that all the power, the connections will be severe enough that the whatever self-destruct means would stop.
Yes, it goes 1, 3, 2, 1, and the hand is in your head, and it says 0, and nothing happens as the lights go out in its eyes, which leaves just the one that the traveler is fighting for this present moment in time.
Okay, so I guess I have to get rid of both that thing and the electric cables.
Yeah, the electrocuted is your problem at the moment. Until you can shake that, you can't really act.
Okay, I have. Then
I'm not electrocuted. Sorry, the
frozen in place thing. Yeah. I think I can. You know what? Well, that's what side blasts are for, right? I mean, why have it and not use it? I'll just. I'm a bit panicked. I'm not really panicky, but this is not a good situation to be in. This thing might stomp on me, and so I'll just let go of everything. There is I think there are a lot of feelings around here that I might use just to shout out all the energy that I can gather from all these feelings and all the electricity and everything. Basically, my mind just takes everything in and yells it out at the scene. So, and this thing, robot thing.
With what you're describing there, using your powers, what I'm going to ask you to do is to seize control, and that will allow you to free yourself and potentially put the last robot in someone else's way. So,
okay, seize control.
It's failed to me. Like again, you're still using the smash because you're using your powers to try and break out.
Yeah,
here, yeah.
Pretty sure I'm going to use smash here. I'm rolling. And oh wow, I've rolled a 5, so it's still, I cannot do a lot. I have a 6 there now.
No. So on the failure of the move, as you try to pull yourself away from the electrical lines, you I think it's your psychic powers try to impact around it. They reflect and bounce off, and the rage of your psychic energy smashes into the front of City Hall, exploding the windows.
Oh no.
And I'm going to come back around. I think I've done everyone there yet. No, I haven't. Telos. You are dropped to the ground and you can see the explosion. How do you react?
Oh gosh. So there's like one robot, but City Hall is at the very least, their window's gonna need some replacing. I'm gonna assume I've got 4 pretty rad teammates. They've got the robot handled. I'm gonna run to City Hall to see if there's anyone injured.
So why don't you try and serve and protect to see if
Yeah, I will serve and protect. I think I'm going to burn a bond. Perhaps with one of my teammates, just because I'm like, y'all are good. I'm gonna go and see how City Hall is doing. Let's see, because the thing with like burning a bond is it's described in the book. It's kind of like worsening your bond with them, because you can keep going below 0.
yeah.
Which is fun. Which is fab. So I think, let's see. Maybe I'm gonna burn a bond with the Grey Ghost. Because like you landed here, you were gonna help me. I'm like, bye. Okay, thanks, bye. You can handle this robot. You handled the other robot better than I did. So I'm gonna do that. So I can get 10 plus that protect and serve. Cool. If that's okay.
So you can choose a whole 3, and you can choose 3 from your scenario. If you want to maybe spend, you could spend a bond to create one with the city, or you can have a bond with the mayor.
My bond with the city is pretty good already. I've got a 2. How did that happen? Yeah, I want to bond with the mayor. And the fun thing as well, I was reading more of the book, and you do have a limit to how many bonds you can have.
Yeah.
So if I make a bond with the mayor, I can't get that bond back with the Grey Ghost because my threshold is 10, which is all right. Well, we'll deal with that when we get there.
So you can have a bond with Mayor West.
They sound like an upstanding fellow. I'm gonna take that. So I'm gonna choose one to create a bond with Mayor West. Type the name in. Gee, I wonder who's playing them in the movie adaptation. I am gonna. Let's keep taking conditions. Well, no, I'm going to reduce the effectiveness of an attack or condition if that's appropriate to this. And remind me, what does the attack look like? It's like Psyblast bouncing off.
Yeah, it was a Psyblast being reflected back, right? So you should be sort of thinking how you use your powers to.
Yeah. Let me see. Let's see. My powers involve shooting lasers.
Yeah, shoot lasers. You can sort of just blast away the flying glass shards. That would be appropriate.
Yes, sure. When I say shoot laser, I mean proper, like not tiny lasers, but like big lasers. I'll reduce the effectiveness by doing that, and I think I will open up the attacker to an ally, and by basically going, well, you've tested our metal, Kosmos. Have you had enough yet?
What was the last one? Sorry, you said you were
opening up the attacker to an ally. Basically,
which ally?
Whoever's gonna deal the next blow.
Grey Ghost is probably next, and at the foot of the robot, right? So
yes, yeah. So Telos shot the laser out, is standing in front of City Hall, and he's just going, you've tested our metal, Kosmos. Think you've had enough yet?
Come back here and face me. I will not deal with this gnat. And how do you respond to that, Grey Ghost?
So, and Grey Ghost. Grey Ghost will chuckle. You're it's impressive workmanship you've got on these things, but there's one thing I learned fighting taking down Tiger tanks in the Ardennes, and he's going to kind of try and leap up, sort of climb up partway up the leg of this thing, and jam. I think he's got kind of like a it's probably is like a kind of billy club type thing. He's just going to kind of try and jam it in and rip off a bit of plating around the back and say, "There's always a weak spot."
Now, there's two ways we could deal with this. You could try to take it down, or there's always a weak spot. Could be a power that we have not yet seen on your character, and you could try to push yourself.
I'm going to try and push myself. I think this definitely seems like for a start, we've not seen that move yet. So,
I would suggest that this might be a investigate led.
Yep, that sounds good. And I'll say this is probably kind of difficult. I don't think this is something that's easy for him. I don't know if that affects the roll.
It does on a 7 to 9.
Yep.
Doesn't affect your roll, but the implications could be hard.
Cool. No. Oh no, that's definitely a fail.
What did you get?
A 4 in total.
You pull away the plate, looking smug with yourself, and then the wires come out and seize you by the throat, pulling you forward. And because you said that was going to be a difficult, I'm going to inflict a critical condition on you, where you are being strangled by electrical wires. As well as sort of physically harming to you, these wires are almost alive and are starting to invade your mind. So we'll come back to the Idealist. There's only one robot standing, and it's got the Grey Ghost. Nope. Chiefy may have gone. It's all right.
Sorry, I was muted and had my video off to try and keep you guys from lagging. The Idealist has stood there with this marvelous technological device in his hands, looking up into it. And in that moment of just like scientific brilliance, he realizes he's like lost touch with everything around him, and his attention comes back. He sees the Grey Ghost fighting with those tendrils, desperately trying to stop himself being pulled into the machine in some grisly fate. And it kicks off a memory of him in that industrial factory, the same position with his hands up, but this time instead of holding a marvelous technological device, he's literally holding what you call like a main brace, a giant girder which is holding up 2 crumbling concrete pillars as there's fire going around, and there's like people scurrying past him, flanking him as they go, just crawling out of this collapsing factory, this catastrophic industrial disaster. And as they're running past him and he's like starting to weaken because gauntlets can only hold up so much force for so long before they need recharging, he looks over and he sees that one person trapped in the distance, and he realizes he's not going to be able to save them. And then in the moment now, the Idealist braces himself and says, "Not this day." And I'm going to try and, would it be aid?
Would not be aid in this case, because aid will potentially allowed you.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to try and kick off not on my watch. Even more to the point.
Yeah.
So whenever someone suffers an injury and you throw together a crazy scheme of science to deal with it, roll investigation. So I need to devise a crazy scheme of science, don't I?
You have an alien central intelligence in your hand, Idealist.
Yes, I think I am going to use this to try and mind control the robot. But I'm going to have to get close and attach it to me and it, and use it as a conduit for my vast mind. From its construction, I'm assuming that their minds are in somewhat working on the same wavelengths as normal human brains.
So what I'm going to ask you to do here is seize control, and if you can manage to do that, then you can seize control of the robot from Kosmos.
Okay. Do I need to... Okay, that's fine. So that's instead of the not on my watch roll.
Oh, sorry. No. You were using one of your playbook moves. Sorry, my fault. Let me
Yep.
go back and read that. 3. Yeah, that's right. So that's your credit. Yeah, you can use that. So roll with investigate.
I'm coming to save you, buddy. It's a 10.
On a 10 plus, you put it off, and your patient may recover 1 condition. So describe how you free the grey ghost and how they heal a critical condition.
What was the actual damage that the Grey Ghost had incurred for context?
It's being strangled by these cables.
Yeah. I think, as the leaping to action, the Idealist dives off the robot, bounces off the side of the bus that had just luckily not been crushed, dashes across, and rather than say trying to help the Grey Ghost from untangling himself, he grabs one bundle of connectors and sticks them into the hole. Then he grabs the other one, looks the Grey Ghost in the eyes, and connects it right into his helmet using the tin interface to conduct into his own skull. And the tendrils will start to unravel, allowing the Grey Ghost to breathe again and start to clamber his way out as the machine probably starts reacting violently to this new mind that's within it, fighting it for control of its own body, and the tentacles start to just become completely erratic.
And yeah, I think the Grey Ghost is going to sort of take a gasp of breath and say, "Nice work, my intellectual chum," and sort of drop down from the back of the robot.
Well, Kosmos screeches, "No! How can the intelligence of a mere human outwit me?" As it is, I think the last robot shuts down and is defeated. Allowing the PCs to come out of that sort of combat framing.
Well, that wasn't an everyday thing.
Immediately, as soon as this is stopped.
Do I get out of the cable stuff, or am I still struggling there?
No, it was defeated. So
Okay.
you're all right. So once the combat is done, minor conditions that are, I suppose, impacted by the environment you're in. We should probably have someone pulling you out, but ultimately it is defeated. So does someone want to sort of help pick out, I suppose, the characters who are still in trouble? Who is perceived as the leader of your team?
No one?
Maybe the Idealist, because I believe that they have quite a good rep with both the city and law enforcement, if memory serves.
Yeah.
I guess
You have 2 on both.
we're all very respected with the city for the most part. But yeah, I guess the Idealists would never see him as the leader, though.
Just as how
Should
they
be
see you, right? So
yeah.
I think
He's certainly the one involved in the PR.
I think immediately ace reporter Scout Van Dien is at you with a notepad and a camera and a press card. but let's deal with who's helping the traveler out of the cables and the wreckage of the robot.
Sure. Sounds like the Idealist was helping the Grey Ghost, so. And Telos ran to the mayor.
So you pull the cables away and lift, and you're in a position that you can step out and are free, traveler.
Okay. I'm still like a little woozy because I've been electrocuted.
Mm-hmm.
But I put my hat quickly on my hair so it wouldn't stand. I mean, it will probably give out some sparks and stuff. And I'm shaking that off and I'm telling the Archangel, thank you. That is never fun, but well.
Yes. You see smoke coming out of my wings there.
Sorry.
It is not fun.
Sorry.
Nothing for. Not the usual thing to happen in the city.
Yeah. It should have gone better though.
It can always go better.
That's true. That's true. We should definitely take care of these robot things because I don't think we want this kind of tech lying around. I have a really bad feeling about that.
Sounds like something that we should talk to Telos about, but yes.
Do you want to trigger your call it move, the traveler?
Definitely, I want to trigger my call it move.
Uh-huh.
That says once per session, I may claim an event or item can be of relevance to the future. State what the element foreshadows about the future, and the EIC will tell you will do their best to incorporate your foreshadowing into the game. When it does come up, roll plus influence, blah blah blah. Okay, so I say that I have a feeling that these the drives, the power cores of these things might be used to build the sort of tech that would have a very bad impact on the future. I remember machines built like that, and they will eventually take down the Amazon rainforest, and we don't want that. At least that was what happened in my timeline. I will take care of the one that is near me because we don't need to have 4 of them running around, but that still leaves 3 unaccounted for.
So I will put in a side panel at that point where we hear a phone ring and floating through a neo-cosmic pocket dimension, we see the warmonger who picks up the phone and says, well, it's hardly my fault if the heroes defeated you. My reactors are working perfectly well. In fact, maybe if you didn't proclaim your countdowns, you could have used these energy cubes and you could have blown up part of the city. So, no refunds, and elsewhere we see Kosmos looking back and going, damn you, warmonger.
Hangs the phone in his face.
Yeah, sort of puts the phone down. So that's foreshadowed that warmonger is building strange power sources. So you're dealing with that. Idealist, yes, you've got Scout Van Dane going like, can you give me the scoop? What's going on, Idealist? Who's attacked the city? You're muted, mate.
Well, Scoot, you know about as much as we do at this point. 4 large robots rampaging through town. Second we noticed, we were in there to try and keep the peace and save the innocents.
From time? Wow. Where do you think they're from? They look really futuristic. Maybe the 21st century?
21st century, alien world. Your guess is good as mine at this point. However, I won't rest until we've figured this out and made sure we're safe from any further attacks from this kind of no-gooder.
Said, wow, Idealist, the city is lucky to have you. Maybe you could give me that interview you've been promising me. Maybe over dinner.
Idealist is just going to look over his shoulder and check on the rest of the team to see how they're doing, just to make sure that everything seems okay. And I think as they are sort of pulling themselves together, I'm going to have to take a rain check on that today, but soon.
She sighs and says, you walk away, say, who is that masked man? One day I'll find out. Grey Ghost, as the everything else is being sorted out, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think Grey Ghost is actually Grey Ghost is going to go over to the go over to the school bus and just check that you know everyone's okay on board.
They're quite surprised to see you, and the kids are waving, and at the superhero. The school teacher goes, thank you so much for saving us. If it wasn't for you, we'd have been crushed by that giant robot.
That's okay. It's what we're here for. We can't let threats like this harm the future of our country. As he kind of gives like a wave to the kids on the bus.
Cool. So you do just that. The kids then are back onto the bus, and the bus drives away. The police have arrived and started calling off the scene, as have this new proto-governmental agency that deals with problem superhero activities. They're codenamed Aegis, but here they are starting to cut off the scenes. They've all got black suits on and ties and sunglasses, and all over the place very quickly.
Before they can grab Kosmos' stuff, can I try to like hack into one of the robots, because I got that image of the desert?
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on there.
And before they take the power cores, I would try to grab as many of them as I can, or fry them.
I'll help.
Thank you.
So let's do this in two ways. Let's do a seize control to see if you can grab control of what was contested from the Aegis Men in Black traveler.
In this case, I roll with protect, because
Yeah.
this is to protect humanity from, well, things. And I roll I've rolled a 6, so it's an 8.
So I could roll 8, helping
You
her
could,
get
if
as
you're
many
helping,
of them.
Exactly right. So you're rolling with your
as
bond.
Mm-hmm.
And our bond is
Cool.
1, I believe.
It
Yeah,
is.
I think so. Cool.
I keep getting the same numbers. That's kind of strange. Anyway, it's a 9.
So you can choose one. They can take +1.
Or 2.
I'll give her a +2 if I could.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Is it a 10?
Then I would have 10.
Exposing myself to danger, probably the police and stuff.
Cool.
The
Okay,
Men
well,
in
I'll push
Black.
it up to a 10. So the Men in Black in the 1950s black cars, suits, they've arrived. But on the 10 plus, yes, you do it, and you have secured the power cores. Whilst you are examining Telos.
Okay. So roll investigate. It's not bad. I can deal with that. That's 7. So rolled 6 plus 1. So ask 1. Let's see. I mean, me, the player, has a decent idea of what's in the desert, or maybe not. What danger should I be on the lookout for? Let's play it safe.
Cool. And I will always say with questions like these, if you want to ask a question that isn't covered, that is appropriate, do feel free. Don't be limited by what's here. I'll push back if I don't think it's appropriate. But yeah, I think it's clear that Kosmos is working from the network is working from a hub center. It has built a fortress.
Am I supposed to get one of those?
And whilst it has a fortress, it could do this again.
That's something I need to bring up to the team, but Aegis is here to take care of that, and they're doing other stuff. So I guess I'll just tell us just going to turn back to the city hall to see if everyone's still safe.
The mayor, the mayor, is keen to pose with a cigar with Telos, the astronaut from another planet who has saved them from certain doom.
Yeah, I think Telos probably has to take the shield off so people can see her green alien face. Ooh, but it's a bit awkward. Well, no, it used to be awkward, but she's used to this now. Like, I think she does joke and say like, Mayor West, we've got to stop meeting like this.
Said, hey, I've stopped wearing red ties to make sure my green and blue ones mix with your complexion. Why don't you come to the city ball next week?
Well, Mayor West, I wouldn't know what to wear. That seems terribly important.
Said, I've never had a space lady come to a city ball before. Why don't you come along?
I mean, how can I say no to that? I think that is what Telos says. Well, how can I say no to that?
Said no one. Said, you're more than welcome to say no, but I'll make sure you're there. I'll put down a +1. Bring a friend. Is there a Mr. Telos?
Well, Mayor West, between you and me, if there is, I haven't found them yet. But I will take that +1.
Excellent.
Cool, that's all I needed from Mayor West. It's all pretty good.
So does anyone want to do anything else in this scene, or shall we reconvene back in the library? Yes.
I'd just like to. I think that Grey Ghost is sort of like seeing the kids back onto the bus as the agents turn up, and I think he recognizes probably like the lead agent here is someone he used to work with back in the day, Agent Culpepper, and I'm going to roll my expert in the field if that's okay.
Yeah.
As his sort of area of expertise is like spycraft and such, so I figure that makes sense. So that's a roll with investigate, and that is an 8, which I think gets me. Yes, you can tell me something interesting about the Aegis agents, but it doesn't have to be relevant. To which, I mean, I guess there's not an immediate thing where I'm trying to achieve here anyway. But yeah, it's
Cool. As you sort of approach the Aegis agent, would they know you, Grey Ghost? How would Agent Culpepper react to you? Does he know the Grey Ghost? Have you worked together before?
no, I don't think so. Well, he might know Grey Ghost. He does. Oh, well, I mean, obviously he also does know Jacob Grauman. He does not know that Grey Ghost is Jacob Grauman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So as you sort of step forward towards them, you spot. He sort of puts his hand up to his earpiece and brings it back down, and you spot just underneath his watch strap for a split second a tattoo of a serpent.
Excellent. Yeah, and then that's cool for me.
He looks at you and he says, "Yeah, Grey Ghost, great job, well done. We'll take it from here. We've got top men back in base to work on this. Top men."
I'm sure you do, Agent. I'm sure you do.
The Idealist. Are we done here for now? Should we convey later in our base?
Yeah, let's take all this back there and see what we can put together.
As much as I can. I could fly some things up.
Let me just have a look at these people here.
No one could follow me.
And I would like to examine the surface thoughts of the people here just to find out if there's someone fishy. I remember those microfish. So. Hello, David. Are you here?
He muted.
BRB.
He said BRB, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
All right, so now we're in control now. Basically, yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Okay, you are? Wait, what?
I think we won.
Yeah, we won forever.
Yes,
yeah.
all the enemies have been defeated.
Yeah.
Now that's
this-
let's
Yeah,
let
see-
the rest of the sessions have just interpersonal relationships then.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure I'll
yeah.
be back.
This is where the comic ends, the original comic ends, and then we pick up with the dark '80s postmodern Alan Moore deconstruction of the comic. So, so it turns out that
So we're all 30 years older and 30 years more cynical than.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll dig that. Yeah.
Looking forward to my mental breakdown and drug addiction.
Probably just disappear after a while. And never be seen again for a long, long
I've been
time.
Turns out Archangel was just a hallucination.
I've been to prison for a while.
So
For environmental terrorism.
Vertigo imprint reboot, right?
Yeah, we moved. No,
30
we,
years. 30 years in the future.
we skipped ahead to the Miracle Man Marvel.
I'll have these celestial adventures.
Darth Ennis's ... You still haven't got a team name. I will come back to that before he sort of hits some down type moves. But has anyone got? Do we think we have named the team?
I would like to do an examine
Yeah.
before we go,
Yes.
because I can read surface thoughts, and I would like to see if there's anything stands out here. If anybody is not like, "Ooh, this was exciting," or "Ooh, this was terrifying," or whatever. So I will attempt to do that. Probably I'll fail, but I'm rolling with investigate.
I could help. One of my possible is like I can kind of sense that something's bad.
Oh, cool.
It's
Yeah.
like
I'm really not good at investigate, but
I could try an aid if it's even helpful.
Yeah, sure. If you have a direction, I should maybe check in.
Yeah, and like
Let's see.
right before I fly off, I probably.
Well, I really need some help here because I've got 6.
There you go. If I get the same dice again, okay, something's wrong. I always get the same dice. This time I got something different. So I got a 9.
Cool.
So if I feel any like bad, like I don't know exactly how to say it, like kind of
9
like a
is
paladin
including your
sensible.
bond, Archangel? Right.
A 9 after the bond. Like I probably sense something, which is probably not a good thing for me, but if I know you need the pointer, I'll point you toward the direction, give you a +2, and pick up the power things and just kind of shake my wings in order to try and at least 4. I still have 4 of them functional, so and try to fly up with as much of the stuff that we wanna not let
I'll
anyone
let you
else.
put the +2 in this time, but I think there's probably a miswrite of that rule, which is I think it takes, because if you chose a 7 to 9, I think it'll be a +1 forward, but a 10+ it could be a 2 forward. But I'll let you.
So +1 is fine as well, I think, as long as
No,
it's
I'll let you
6.
do the 2 for now. But I think that's
plus-
I just
+1 is all that I need.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, from 6 to 7.
Is that maybe is there a minus missing? Because I know the +1 or -2 because you have 8 or interfere. So I think actually it's not +1 or +2. It's maybe +1 or -2.
I'll double check
right?
the main move in the main book. Just
Okay.
to
Just
check that.
just
Yeah, it
to
could be that.
Seems sensible.
yeah, because that's how the move usually works.
Aha.
Still, I get one question,
Mhm.
and I think reading and skipping over the surface thoughts of people here is, what danger should I be on the lookout for?
You hear, and because there's a crowd around, right? There's a
Mhm.
crowd somewhere around you. You can
Yeah.
hear someone in the crowd say, "The angel is vulnerable to fire. The cardinal must know."
Okay, that's not what I was hoping for, but it is
What
it
were you
is
hoping?
ominous enough to.
Hoping for something else? What were you hoping for other than that?
No, I was just trawling for anything that stood out here, really. And if this is about the angel, this is bad, but it's not somebody who's thinking, I have to get, it's not my arch nemesis. It's not the hornet. It's not a bzzz noise.
No,
So I'm very happy.
I'm deliberately picking on the angel.
Yeah, that's fine.
Especially when he's wounded.
Yeah, and I will get to our headquarters under the library, and will then commence to tell the angel that there is a cardinal who is interested in
So when I get there.
his weaknesses, like fire.
When I get to there, I try to pick up as much of the stuff we're trying to make sure no one else gets, because I am strong as I fly up. I'll consider where to throw it down, probably in the ocean or something, because no one told me where to put it down.
Well, the remnants of the robots, you mean?
The parts that we took out of them.
Oh, I think
whatever is too heavy.
Those are the power cores, so I think they're about that big.
So they can easily be held by you guys. So I'll just fly away.
We
can recycle these.
Could also throw them in the water.
Let's not throw stuff in the water because it's inconvenient. That is not a good idea.
It's just water. But sure.
There are
whatever you prefer.
There are things living in the water, and they deserve to live as well.
But back in the university, in its oldest building, the library, and its hidden tabernacle, perhaps founded by the founding fathers themselves, you are together as a team. Does the team feel like it has a name yet?
And call ourselves the Tabernacle Crew, for lack of a better word, or the library. No, that's probably not it.
If we want to go for epic heroism, I've always liked the Paragons.
Okay, I like that.
The silent Paragons, because I still want the silent because of the library. Because we're in a library, so you have to be quiet.
I think we're the only ones who don't have to be quiet.
Yeah, I think that fight.
Let's go for it not being the tabernacle. Let's call it the silent library, because then we can have silent in, right?
That's the name of the place. That's not our name.
Our name is the
Paragons,
silent Paragons, or the noisy Paragons.
The noisy
or we'll have to figure out what kind of Paragons we are yet. Okay, to be determined Paragons.
We're the Paragons of Tomorrow.
That is good. I like that one. The Paragons of Tomorrow.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Maybe we're all a different Paragon, and you're the Paragon of Tomorrow. I'm the Paragon of Science.
Paragon of Faith.
Ooh.
Okay.
Like a paragon of space, and
Yes,
I guess the Grey
okay.
Ghost is the paragon of
Punching
people.
tanks.
Let him
Punching
just be the
tanks, yeah.
Grey Paragon. You can just be the Grey
Hey,
Paragon. That
Panzer
is-
Puncher. That's what I'm going to call you now.
I'm not in my superhero costume. None of you probably know me in their private life, so even when I am myself, you guys have no idea who I am.
Yep.
So I think you
Right.
sit at your table in the library, right? And you are there.
Because
Does anyone have any
I've probably-
closing remarks for
it
tonight?
makes no
episode?
sense for me to walk around in wings. I will be like, this was not a normal day. We usually fight things, but not like that.
We know that the Kosmos is some sort of enemy of Telos's, right?
I think so.
Yeah, you'll undoubtedly have faced him before, right? Because
Yeah.
you've
Okay.
been together as a couple of teams, so
Okay.
Couple of
it's
Yeah,
this golden age, right?
Okay.
The villain
Okay.
repeats every 4 issues or so.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. These
Yes.
were usually they're not quite as ostentatious.
Yes, they used to be so subtle. Maybe hijack a ship, or steal some intelligence. Now they're running in the streets,
With
destroying buildings
with giant robots.
with
calling-
giant robots.
calling us out. So what?
Behaving
I
like
ca-
children with a new toy.
I can't believe he's a nihilist now.
All the moral culpability of a child as well. What are they going to do next?
Build a
They
bigger
have.
robot.
I looked into their files. They have a base in the desert. I should be able to pinpoint that in a few days. Then we'll get there when we get there, but we know where they are at the moment.
We could get there. It wouldn't be too complicated.
Yeah.
Once my image heals, I could fly us all.
Is there a way we can help you heal your wing?
I would not know. I don't know how all of this works.
They're just. I'm just going to look closely. It looks like some moderate to deep tissue burns.
Oh, you don't see it because it's in the wings, and I'm in my
Oh,
human form.
yeah.
Like you see the thing probably
Oh.
glowing a little less or
Yeah.
something. The thing I have on my necklace.
I mean, ultimately, it's probably tissue burns, right? They would normally take weeks to heal under normal circumstances. But
That wouldn't be good.
I may have a way to accelerate it.
Your face makes me worried about agreeing. But I trust you. I'll hold the reliquary and my wings will float out. My hair becomes white. Like, yeah.
Once in a lifetime opportunity to bring together faith in science in one act.
I guess we could see about that.
Well, if there's a way I can help. I mean, I need to ground myself a little because I'm still sparking, but once I've done that, I'm
And you said you have something to tell me.
there was this person in the crowd. I didn't get who it was. Really, there were too many, but they said something about the angel is vulnerable to fire. Let the cardinal know.
Cardinal. Yeah, well, of course I'm vulnerable to fire. I'm just a person. I don't see how I won't be. But
Well, if you are like this, you are an angel, and you might suspect that an angel wielding the holy fire is somehow immune to that, but you apparently are not.
apparently not. Perhaps something to look forward to, or perhaps not. In case those people, whoever they might be, what would they want from me?
Did not sound very friendly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they were hopeful about my ability to get wounded. Yes, it sounds very yes.
But we've got your back, friend.
Likewise. The Idealist, whenever you have time, to try your healing mechanisms, we shall do it.
Dave, I want to do another Not on My Watch, and I have a plan of negative pressure wound therapy across his entire body. We shall place him in a vacuum chamber with just his head exposed so he can breathe. And then we shall use that to pump some form of moisturizing fluid into his wounds and draw the burned fluids out.
Oh, on a 6 or 9, his head swirls up like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Oh man, I want to draw this.
Yeah.
6 or less.
While it happens, I speak and I say, yeah, you would expect an angel to not be harmed by anything. This is not pleasant.
I got a 6.
How do we get rid of the moderate thingies conditions?
There are some people who've got moves that can deal with healing. Otherwise, one of the moves you can make is your downtime move, which should be in the core move, which is it's the fit in move. The fit in move is sort of making you go back into your mortal life with your bonds and sharing scenes with characters, and then you'll get a chance to roll at the end of that scene to remove some of your condition.
Okay.
I failed to fix his
Is
burns.
anyone helping the science person?
Oh, definitely.
Who would help a science person the most?
I would help a science person because I have seen a lot of science in my time that I can't talk about, but I can help.
Yeah,
There's also a robot.
One of the moments where you realize you should not have ordered the pressure regulator from Acme Goods.
How well did you roll, Andrea? How well? You rolled a 6, so I can actually help.
I got a 6.
Okay, I roll with bonds, right? And I have one bond with you or the angel.
Oh, wait, it's an investigation roll, isn't it?
It's one with
and I rolled a 5, of course.
Actually,
so I rolled
my dice were a 6. I rolled an 8 because I forgot to add investigation.
Phew.
So there's a complication or obstacle that must be dealt with to succeed and for a condition to be removed.
Still, you had +1 probably, so it's a 9, I guess.
So my helping was not very helpful at that point.
No.
It was like I was confused about why aren't you using because
it's the 1950s.
We're in the 50s and someone oh my gosh. I apologize. This was not a good suggestion. Don't do that.
Dave, what's the complication?
The complication, I think, as you try to use this fluid upon them is, I'm going to say that...
Whilst in a vacuum.
Sorry?
Whilst in a vacuum.
Whilst in a vacuum. I'm going to
Angel
say
in a vacuum.
that the... I'm going to say that the... let's have a think. What we got here. Yeah, the feathers regrow on your wings, but as the liquid drips away and down into the washing almost the burn marks away from you. Yeah, it glitters and glows in the detritus of the experiment. And what would you normally do with the detritus of the experiment, Idealist?
Well, something like this, which is clearly not a contaminant or hazardous, would just be washed away.
Yeah, the 50s. Nobody cares about anything.
You throw this down the sink, and as we close the issue, the glittering energies of a healed angel are thrown into the waterworks of Liberty City. What would possibly go wrong?
Not much.
Tune in next time to find out.
I know what I'm going to push first as a power. Ability to fast heal. Or be invulnerable. That's also cool.
Okay. So we will turn the page there, and in issue 1 of the Paragons of Tomorrow. The letter page is written by Kosmos, who is teaching people how to do the robot. It's the hip dance of the 50s.
Is it a 50s thing, Robot?
No, but
It's
he's
way later, right?
He's a robot, and that's the only dance he can do, man.
Yeah. And
So,
the comic seasoned in the 50s. So.
right. Let us go through with some stars and wishes, and we will do it in character keep order this evening. Stars first, and then back round for ecclesiastical culture. Yeah, I'm running that as a follow-on game, right? Clearly.
There you go.
So, Arez, any stars for this evening?
Stars, everyone. It was fun. When we were fun. I'll aim it directly at Telos for dealing with their nemesis quite amusingly. And not very successfully. But successful enough in the end.
Yeah. So the monologuing of villains.
Yes, to each other, yeah. It gave us time to break everything down.
David, any stars?
Yeah, definitely stars all around. It was a good fun session. I particularly enjoyed seeing our the Idealist's science usage. Always good. I like the it was good to see Archangel get a chance to kind of do the whole flying and beating crap up as ever. That was awesome. I liked the I really actually liked the little scene with seeing Telos in human form was great. And I really enjoyed seeing that moment of like the like linking stuff to the future. That's a really neat move, and I think used it in a really nice place for there. That was great. And Dave, thanks for running. I thought it was a nice, suitably 50s opening for this. Had a lot of fun. So no, thanks everyone.
Awesome, thank you. Jimmy?
For me, everyone did lots of little wonderful things that helped me sort of just find my base in the game and like bring character to it and make it fun and interesting. There was one little bit though that David did that really helped me get into it. It was just the bit where he was going at the robot and it's like, something with fighting, what was it, tigers in wherever. Taught me so there's a weak point. I was like, that really just kind of captured that whole kind of quipping in panels as you do stuff, and the whole sort of like tell don't show.
Yeah,
and that's really helped me sort of move towards, I think, what the right headspace is, and something I'm going to be trying to copy more in the future.
Yeah, in a golden age game, we've got to introduce that element of cheese, right? In fact, I don't have a cheese board if it was my option at this present moment in time. It's like we need to have those over the top lines. I enjoyed a lot of those tonight. Sabine, any stars?
Yeah, I really liked the session. Thanks for welcoming me and my new character. And I like the group. I like the Paragons of whatever we are. I think we are not yet certain, but we will be. We will be. I like the angel, and I like the alien, and I really want to talk more to the alien because that's very interesting. And I also love both the gray ghost and the idealist. I really like this whole, yes, we are wholesome, and now we are saying something very wholesome. I have to get into that because I'm a very cynical person. I'm sorry, I apologize, but maybe that is kind of the character he is from. They are from the future, and sometimes that's not the whole, yes, idealism doesn't come that easily to them, but they'll acclimatize, I guess, whatever the word is. They'll figure it out, maybe.
Cool. Let's go back on wishes. Any reverse order? Sabine, any wishes?
Yeah, you know what? I had one. Oh yeah, I wanted to have a scene, or I wanted to talk to Telos because Telos is interesting. Very interesting. And Telos' meaning in the timelines. A mystery yet.
GB, any wishes?
I am really looking forward to seeing how the different characters interact with each other on a personal level. Like we've had like a fun team battle, but a lot of these games are just the sort of the meat of it is who we are and how we interact and what our little mini relationships are and where they go.
Yeah. Leandro?
I want to start working on drives. That's kind of like what I'm looking forward to. Mainly because that's the main advancement thing. Not only you get drives, you get achievement points. You spend those points for other things.
XP.
Yeah, that is the XP. But you gotta. When you mentioned Hearts of Odin, it is kind of like that, where it's good to flag it at the start.
Yeah, I will sum that up at the end of this, just to run through it. So yeah, but I agree. David, any wishes?
I mean, sort of echoing what other people said. I'm looking forward to doing some of that more like interpersonal stuff next time. A bit more space just to chat and such with people, see how we live our lives, all that stuff. But yeah, other than that, I think that's the main one.
Okay, and Arez?
I'm interested in what the hell is going on in the background. All the evil plots being done behind our backs between all of our enemies, all together for some reason.
Not all together, but yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Yet.
So two more sessions. Okay. So thank you for tonight. I've got my head around the flow of the game until you sort of run it and you see it hitting. You go, right. That's what we're doing. That's how that fits together. That's how those rules do things. So it is the two things to notice is that we get into sort of some of the downtimey scenes. The fit in move is really quite important, right? That's what your bonds are really important for, because if you've got less bonds, you've got less opportunities for doing fit-ins and less characters you can do. Your fit-ins, your social and character scenes. It's not like a comfort and support. It is if there are opportunities for Telos and excuse me, Telos and Kylon to have real life moments together. That's the sort of idea we can do it. You can do it with your NPCs. You can do it with any PC that you have a bond with, and that's sort of going back to your normal life. It is your Peter Parker moment. As Leandro picked out, your drive's the other thing, and I think what we'll I will do next time is remind people as we get ahead around this is to highlight the bit in your drive that you would like to try and hit this game. I've been trying to keep my head on them, but there's a hell of a lot of bits, right? So if you highlight the ones you're going for, I can try to introduce scenes which give you a chance to hit your drive, which is, as I say, if anyone, I think a lot of you have played Hearts of Odin, some of you may not have, but it is, I am leaning into this. I really this time want to hit like Fortress of Solitude, or I want to hit Hold the Line. We will try our best to help frame a scene for you for that character to be able to do that type of action. when you sort of get to fill your book, you'll hit your moves. You can look at other books and other things that you might be fitting through, right? So it might be, as I say, you may well get out, for example, Grey Ghost may move from protect into reconcile my past or redeem myself, as we uncover more of the Grey Ghost's background as an example there. Redeem myself would equally be appropriate for someone like the Idealist. As a new book to open when they conclude the last one of now they've felt with science, they've realized that they've made mistakes. But it's sort of leaning into those comic book tropes. And I would expect us to probably get through, 2 to 3 books in the run of this, 2 to 3 drives in the run of this game. As you complete a drive, you keep your moves. Is that all okay?
Mhm.
With everyone? Thank you for your time this evening. This is an interesting game. I have yet to form a conclusion on it, but you're role playing and you're taking and leaning into the 1950s golden age stuff has been absolutely awesome. So I look forward to playing with you again next week.